Afternoon guys, welcome back to Audi Fits. Today is Saturday the 26th of October. So I've been in the unit for about a couple of hours. We were going over this car that's in front of me. The owner had 101 questions, he wants to do all sorts of mods to it. I love doing that. I actually, it's what I do, I upgrade cars. So going through all the little options, then he's telling me about quotes he got from someone else who had ridiculous money for like basic tints and stuff. So I was like, look, I'll hook you up, don't worry. But yeah, I've been in the unit for a couple of hours just going over this car. And I finally had to kick him out and say, listen, let me get on with the job because I've got another few cars coming later on. So it's actually come up to 1 o'clock now. It's getting a bit late. But the car I'm talking about is this Audi A4 Avant. So this is a 2013 Audi A4 Avant. Black, 2-litre diesel, kind of nice. It's in to have two things. Number one, on the inside, Lord knows it needs it, it's got the basic ugly infotainment system. There, this thing. And down here you got these weird little basic buttons. Now there's so many noises in here. Now we do offer a full MMI upgrade where you can have the buttons down here, the controls down here, and that all changed out, but that is quite a lot of money. So the other option for not a lot of money is to add a CarPlay kit. So we've agreed we're going to put a CarPlay kit into this system. It will be a touchscreen one as well. Just because the buttons are here, whatever. But we've got a CarPlay kit going in, and then he's also asked for a reversing camera. So currently, in reverse, nada. Nothing happens. No sensors, nothing. It does have rear sensors, but doesn't show on screen. When I'm done, we'll have the rear camera. It is going to be an aftermarket camera that works alongside the CarPlay kit because that's more cost effective, but it will look like the factory piece. So back here, we've got the basic boot opener. I'm going to replace that out for the one with the camera and get that all hooked up and working. Does take a little bit longer because this is a manual gearbox car, which means the CarPlay box doesn't have auto detect when you go into reverse, so you have to manually wire that in. But otherwise, yeah, should be relatively straightforward. Like I said, it's almost 1 o'clock. Oh look, Simon just turned up. Good morning, Simon. Afternoon.
Good morning.
Where's your coffee?
I need to go get it.
What time did you wake up today?
Yeah, exactly.
What time did you wake
Don't
up?
ask.
What do you mean don't ask?
Don't ask.
Well, considering he walked in at 1 o'clock, he must have got up late.
Yeah, I'm feeling bad.
Yeah, go get yourself a coffee and then come back and we swap this car.
Okay.
Come on, no rest for the wicked. Done. It's taken about an hour and 10 minutes. The A4 Avant is now completed. So around the back here, reversing camera is now installed into the boot opener button, which still works properly. There you go. It's one complete unit with a button there. And then inside the car, so as I said earlier, I'm going to put a touchscreen overlay onto this system, and the effect of the screen now looks a lot cleaner actually. The reason we do touchscreen on this is because to manipulate these buttons, you have to take this whole system apart, and it's such a pain. So the kits that we get for this kind of system is the touchscreen one. Basically, if anyone asks, oh, can I get a touchscreen? The question is, how bad is your system? The worse it is, then yes, we'll get you touchscreen. If it's not, if it's a decent system with the controls here, then you can't have a touchscreen. So then you get this. Sorry, you get the normal. So now if I just flick on the ignition, shut the door, it's going to start screaming at me. Okay, so we've got a standard thing. We've got the cable. Now this is coming out the glove box. That's where a USB port has been put in if you want to go wired. I don't like pairing my phone to customer systems wirelessly. So anyway, we plug it in and it will switch like so. Now we've got CarPlay working. So you can use the steering controls to flick through the menu. That works. These controls do not control CarPlay, but you can now touchscreen. Hang on, let me use my other hand. Here we go. So you can now touchscreen the system and use it like so. You can play music through it, you can get your maps through it. So yeah, all of that good stuff is working like so. Right, the other thing is reverse camera. So flick it into reverse. Bada bing, bada boom. So there you can see the reverse camera is working. Now if I take it out of reverse, it will switch back to CarPlay. And if I disconnect and then put this back to, I think if I press the nav button for 3 seconds, it will switch back to factory. No, that's not the switch. Maybe if I touch the screen for 5 seconds. There you go. So we're back to the factory Audi screen. Now imagine you don't have your phone with you, you don't have CarPlay connected, nothing. You get in the car, start it, put it into reverse, camera still works perfectly fine. It doesn't need your phone for it. We just need the CarPlay box in there to interface the camera through it. It doesn't need to be technically connected. So yeah, works. That's that all done. This one can go. I've got a few cars turned up outside, so we're gonna have to swap them over, get another one in. I'm looking at the camera up there and I can see like 4 cars out there. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, let's go find out and get the next car in. Not bad timing. Right, next car in. It's a 2018 Audi Q3. This is the last of the 8U model. So this model designation of this is 8U. This is the last of that shape. After this, in 2019, they upgraded to the F3, I think it is. The newer design where you can get virtual cockpits and whatever. This is the older one that looks like an A1. Why does he have a massive TomTom when that system supports nav? Or maybe this car doesn't have nav. That TomTom's huge. Anyway, so the car is in, probably because he can't stand the TomTom anymore, to have Apple CarPlay added. So this is exactly the same as the job we just did with the A4. We're adding Apple CarPlay to this system, and along with we're adding a reverse camera. And yeah, so pretty much the same kit, the same system, same pretty much everything. Oh, so auto, that makes it easier. Currently stick it in reverse, nothing happens. Yeah, nothing on display right now, so that will change later. And let me go around the back and show you. So at the moment we have just a standard. Oh, it's locked. He's got one of those single door unlock things going on. There you go. So yeah, again, similar thing. Change out that, put in a camera, and go from there. The last one took about an hour and a bit. I expect the same from this. It's coming up to 2:30. So, Simon, he's had his coffee. He's a bit more awake.
Yeah.
Right, let's go. Let's strip this done. And it took about a similar amount of time to do this one on the Q3. So firstly, around the back, we've got the reversing camera installed. There you go. And it works as it should. The boot opening button. And now inside, exactly like that A4 earlier, click on the ignition, get the car started up. The TomTom is still connected. And let's turn that off because it's quite bright. Right, so let that thing turn on. Don't know what's taking so long. Right, now I can put it into reverse, and the reverse camera pops up. There you go, we've got the image. The rear sensors are beeping, and then I've got the USB cable coming out of the glove box. So CarPlay, just plug it in. That's why this nav doesn't work. And there, CarPlay is now that it's on, I can use the steering controls here to navigate through the menus, or I can just swipe and it works as a touchscreen too, with the touchscreen overlay installed onto this system. So yeah, that's that all done. Oh look, Mexican GP's coming up. That's I think free practice 3 at 6:30, so I'm definitely going to try and tune in for that later on. Yeah, this is done. Camera, CarPlay, simples. Let's swap this out. I'm going to stop to eat something. Are you going to eat? You got up like 3 hours ago. Exactly. Alright, I'm going to stop to eat, and I think our next appointment's coming in at 4, so we're doing good. We're done good for timing. It says there 3:46, right? Time to eat. Okay, so next one in is an Audi A1. It's a 2016 Audi A1 3-door in a very cool colour. I quite like this. It's not the standard blue. I don't know, it gives me beach vibes. I quite like this. It's a very basic spec car, and for that reason the customer really wanted to upgrade on this car. She said it's her first Audi and she wasn't entirely sure what she was getting. Yeah, it's got like a plastic steering wheel, no Bose or upgraded sound system, but it's a good little car. Now this car is car number 3 for today for CarPlay and reversing camera. Yeah, I don't know what's going on today. We're just getting CarPlays and cameras today. But while I'm talking, I'm noticing the boss is sitting, chilling on the RS seat. Hello. Anyway, back here, we're going to add a reversing camera to that tiny little boot opener. So the camera will fit into this little boot opener here. We've got the camera, so that should be okay. Now the CarPlay kit that we've got for this one, my other kits all ran out of stock. The touchscreen ones are great, but personally I don't like them. My personal preference, when you're sitting here driving along, right, you've got your hand on the steering wheel, you can reach to this, fine. If I want to reach to the screen, this is as far as I can reach the vent. So now I have to lean forward. You have to go in and then tap. I'm not a big fan of that. Plus the fingerprints, I would prefer to use this. And so the kit we've got for this car uses these controls. So it could be a little bit different in how it runs, but overall it's the same thing. Apple CarPlay and then a camera on the back. So I've just done the handover for the Q3. He's about to leave and now the time is 4:40. You ready, boss?
6 finish.
6 o'clock finish.
Kind of.
All right, cool. Bet. Let's go. So it's just gone 6:37. Finally done on the A1. Now that took a lot longer than we should have. We ran into an issue, which I'll show you in a sec. But firstly, back here, we have the reversing camera there. Now this is a complete unit replacement. It's not like a camera added in to the side of the original button. It's a legit piece and it works quite nicely actually. Now inside the car, get in, switch it on. Now we've got, as always, the USB cable coming out the glove box for CarPlay, but let me just get straight to the issue. Turn the light on so we get some red lights. There we go. Now put into reverse, camera comes on, and as you can see it's glitching out a little bit. Now actually if I turn the power on the car, actually let me just flip the ignition on, the engine on I mean. Okay, so stick it into reverse again. There you go. So now we've got reverse gear working, reverse camera working, and it even has moving guidelines, which is pretty cool for an aftermarket system. The guidelines is responsible by the camera, the CarPlay box. So that's what's doing the guidelines for us. But you see that glitching that it's doing, that the camera feed is glitching out. That is the problem. So when I first saw that, I was thinking, what have we done wrong? Checked the power for the camera, checked the video signal for the camera, and eventually I was like, this is annoying me. So I disconnected the camera altogether and it was still glitching, which then shows the power. The problem is with the CarPlay box, not the camera. And I know these cameras are good. We always use these cameras. We never have this issue. So I think we've got a bit of a glitch in the CarPlay box itself. Everything else seems to work fine. So I might just have to get the customer to come back and we'll swap out the box since I don't have another one in stock. I'll get one organised for next week and we'll just get that swapped out. But aside from that, the actual CarPlay kit itself, if I take the cable and plug it in, now when we hand the car back, we always connect with wireless. We show them it working wirelessly, but I always do wired. Now we've got these controls working. So these controls will control the stereo. This car doesn't have any steering controls, so we can't do it from there. So we're doing it all through the factory controls. This kit is a bit different, but it does work. It actually works quite well, like this. You can use the back button to come back out of it, and that all works properly as well. So yeah, all good there. And then of course, you know, while you're driving, just whenever you want, chuck into reverse. The reverse gear comes up the camera. It's just that weird glitch. So I'll get. It's not damaging the whole system. Like everything else works. So what I'll do is I will get a box out and we'll get it swapped out and see what happens with the replacement box. But for the time being, everything else is working. So yeah, I'll get a replacement box in and we'll see what happens with that. The standard CarPlay screen isn't glitching out, so that looks okay. But I have a feeling something's off with this box. It could be something I'm doing. So I'm going to contact the suppliers, figure out if I've done something wrong or if indeed the box just needs replacing, and we just go from there. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on. This is a newer kit. I like it because it uses factory OEM controls as opposed to that touchscreen thing. But yeah, it is new to us as well, so we'll have to go through, maybe there's some settings somewhere that I can change and get this to work. But yeah, everything else works fine, so we are going to hand the customer over with their new CarPlay box because it will be a shame for them to be waiting this long and not have anything. And then the little inconvenience of the reverse camera will sort out once we hear back from our supplier. But that's it for this. I put the cable and turned the recording off all at the same time. So yeah, that's that from me. It's now 6:42. I'm going to head home and try and catch up with FP3 on the Mexican GP, and tomorrow is the race, so we'll catch up with that. Also, I'm going to be going Comic-Con tomorrow. It's been a good 15 years maybe that I haven't gone to a Comic-Con, so I'm going to go there, check that out. So yeah, I'm going to have hopefully a good weekend ahead of me. It's the kids' school holidays, so it's going to get busy at home. But apart from that, see you guys on Tuesday, and stay safe.